like to call this meeting to order, the Monongalia County Board of Education. It's Tuesday, February 11th, 5 p.m. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank all of you for being here tonight. It's a nasty night weather-wise. Okay, we have no delegations, correct? Right? Nope. Okay. Discussion and or other. Superintendent?
Okay, first we want to talk about our weather-related makeup dates here. We do have to make up 3 days. 3 days because of snow days. At this point, let's see how many bullets we can dodge between now and the middle of March. But anyway, we have decided on those days. We did make up Monday was the Pat McAfee day that we had to make up. Next Monday will be a snow makeup day, the 17th, which was scheduled to be off. And then, Donna, make sure I get it right. 17th and 18th of March is what we would like to do for the rest of the days that we have. So we'd like to get that information out as quickly as possible so people can adjust their calendars for that. And that will get us back to where we need to be as far as makeup days. We have 0 snow makeup days left, and we have 2 Arctic Academy days that we have at our disposal should we need those. So, Donna, did I miss anything?
No, sir.
Okay.
Is that an action item for you?
We don't need it.
I was going to say, I didn't think
we
it
don't
was,
need it.
but
I just wanted to make that, answer any questions the board had, and otherwise we're going to move forward with those. We're prepared to announce those publicly.
I always like pointing out Deputy Talarico's countdown on it. What, back in the 80s was the last that we had 0 snow days.
Yes, that is for sure.
Late 80s. Interesting. Okay, next item, graduation 2026.
All right. I have 2 of our high school principals here this evening who would like to put a proposal on the table for the board related to our graduation ceremonies for next year. Obviously, for this year, we're not planning to change anything, and we have those dates announced, and those are set in stone. But we would like to explore some options for 2026. So if Mr. Mahalko and Mrs. Green would mind stepping up there so we can talk to the board about this. I'll just get us rolling here. I know that we've had some discussion over the last couple of years. Our principals have talked to some of their folks, and this is something that they would like to do. Obviously, we've had our graduations at the high school's sites for several years now, but as you know, we've always done University High School on Friday evening. Morgantown has the stage on Saturday morning, and we do Clay Battelle on Sunday afternoon. And for many, many years now, that's fallen on Memorial Day weekend. We would like to propose to the board that all 3 graduations take place on Friday evening of that weekend simultaneously, so that all 3 schools can graduate at the same time on the same day. And then our families will have the remainder of that weekend to celebrate in any fashion that they would like to. So I don't know if Mr. Mahalko or Mrs. Green would like to offer anything in support of that, and certainly answer any questions we've related to the discussions that we've had at this point. So we're basically looking for your support as we begin to build the calendar for next year, because part of your calendar that the state has to approve is your graduation dates.
Yeah, I've talked to a number of people in my community over I'm in year 10 now, so this has been a conversation ever since we left the Coliseum about I remember having conversations with some people in my community about could we trade with UHS every other year and have Friday night, mainly for a lot of the reasons Dr. Campbell speaks about, like having Saturday does take away a little bit of that weekend for people whose families are coming in, and then being outside, if we do have to move time, you just never know what will happen on Saturday. I think for us, because for us, it affects us a little bit more than Kim does, because it would be the same for Kim and University High, but doing it Friday would allow then all of us to have that Saturday morning too as sort of a weather related, if we have to do that kind of thing. But allowing our community to have the whole weekend to celebrate their kids. And you can talk about what the temperature is at 11 a.m. versus what the temperature is at 8 p.m., all of those things. And we've really enjoyed having it at our school. It really is a cool setting to be able to have that. Just the pictures you get we got a great picture from the drone last year, just being able to do that. But just the Friday night move for us would be pretty big, because we would allow our community to have the whole weekend. And I think as a system, it allows us to have more flexibility with, if there are weather-related events, it allows all three of us to be able to sort of shift throughout the weekend, rather than saying, well, we got to worry about when University High is going because of their weather and those kind of things. So doing them simultaneous to me makes a lot of sense. And since we don't do the Coliseum anymore and it does work, we don't have to worry about renting it and who can go when and those kind of things. So doing it at the schools makes this a no-brainer to me.
I have a question. I can't remember, the state track meet, does it go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Saturday?
So the state track meet, I don't know if you know what the dates are,
It's
but
Friday and Saturday.
yeah, so
It is, we were just having this conversation before the meeting started. Unfortunately, the state track meet is going to conflict with our graduation dates, probably for the next 3 years, I believe.
Yeah, it
Whether
always
it's-
has. I just
It
wondered
always
if there was
has.
if this was a solution to that.
It won't be, because our kids, any of our qualifiers will still be there on Friday. And now, the state track meet has conflicted with graduations across the state, and ours many times in the past for many, many years. They've looked at how they can adjust that to try to fix that, but if they're going to do the Friday, Saturday state track meet, it is inevitably going to conflict with high schools and their graduations. The WVSSAC has actually had a graduation ceremony at the state track meet for many years, just to offset that a little bit. It's an unfortunate situation, but I know they've looked at it for many years to see how they could rectify that. And unless they move it to a midweek or a beginning of the week, which they have not elected to do, I think we're always going to run into that possibility, unless we move it off of that weekend. But it's not really something that we would like to explore either, from moving it from that weekend. It's been very traditional for us
And
to
actually,
build our...
we really can't, Dr. Campbell, we're confined, by
Right,
the
because of the
calendar
dates.
rules and the
Yeah,
dates, and
calendar
it has to
rules
be
and
2
everything.
weeks. So we
It really
can't
doesn't
do
give
that.
us much opportunity when you look at when we start school. I mean, we're really locked into that weekend.
So what would the board do? Would we just draw straws? Or pick our favorite school and go to it?
That's how
You
we
could
know it
rotate.
passed.
Because I don't have a
Yeah,
favorite, so
yeah.
I'm struggling.
It puts, it's similar to what my situation, would be.
Oh, yeah.
In
Think
fact,
about you,
I'd
Don.
have to rotate. But I've been in school systems that had multiple high schools, and the superintendent and the board members just elected to rotate, unless they were, you're elected in a particular district, maybe you want to go to that district, or, you just leave it up to the board members. And obviously, in my situation, I would rotate. And then I have the luxury of having a deputy superintendent who can be at the place I'm not, and we have other board associate superintendents. Sandy, Bob can take the third school should we need to do that. The school that's not represented here is Clay Battelle. I had discussions with Mr. Cottrell last year. He was practically begging me to switch, because they have always had to have theirs on Sunday afternoon.
It is brutal.
And so they virtually have no Memorial Day weekend. in order to celebrate their graduation because of the timing. And although Mitch is brand new, when we ran the idea by him, he was very supportive also of having the opportunity to move Clay Battelle from Sunday afternoon to Friday evening as well.
And he was scheduled to be here. He may have been delayed, but he's very much 100% supportive of this, because we've had all these in-house discussions, obviously, before we'd ever approach you with it. And we asked the principals to approach some of the members of their community in relation to the possibility of this. And there is Mr. Channel right now, so he is here.
Or we could just do it all together and be one big happy family and make it miserable for everybody.
I can't be at their
That'd be
house.
quite the venue for that.
Right.
Yeah.
That might be tough,
Right.
yeah. I guess think of this as an experiment. If it doesn't work for some reason or the other, the following year, you always go back to what you know and what you've been doing. But we think, for all intent and purposes, it'll work out great for all of our schools and the kids and the parents and the families that are involved. You're going to get some criticism for somebody who says, I'd like to go to more than one graduation. I don't know how big of a factor that is for a lot of our people, but I'm sure that's one downside to it, is that somebody who would like to go to more than one graduation wouldn't be able to attend.
Well, they are live streamed and recorded, so they also could watch
There you go.
another one. So.
Hey, Mitch. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
So when do we decide?
We just need a thumbs up or a thumbs down from you all so that we can move forward with our calendar. What I wanted to do was ask these folks to come in and be able to answer any questions that you guys might have about it. And then if it looks like this is something that the board supports, we'll build our calendar around the concept of a single graduation ceremony.
I just want to point out, and Donna, this is an experiment. We did it before.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely.
And,
yeah, this is what, and I hate to refer to my colleague here, but many years ago, when she graduated here, it was absolutely, one event, one night, a singleton night. So, in Marion County where I grew up, that's exactly how things have always been there. They graduate on a single night, and many, in fact, most of the districts do that. They choose a single event. So it's been different, and we talked about locations and weather and all of those things here that always have a factor. But they've had such excellent response at their school home sites, and I've been to those, and the students and the families seem to really enjoy being able to say goodbye to their school from that event. So
I
We've
think,
talked about it with our PTSO and our LSIC, and that is one thing. Our families really like it being at our school.
if we can get the the traffic situation squared
I
away.
think we've kind of got that.
It worked
in
out pretty
hand
well
now.
last
it
year
worked out
there.
good last year.
Yeah. Have a chance to work the kinks out.
Yeah.
And Mitch, I don't know if you want to chime in, but I spoke on your behalf.
I know they don't want to have it on Sunday.
Now, I'll be selfish on my part, because I always enjoyed attending every one of them. So it'll be one of those where I have to pick and choose, but
That is the downside.
and I did get calls the last time we did that about people wanting to, they have a cousin here, and so it's kind of spread out, but like you said, I don't know how widespread that is.
You
but-
just have to make a whole day of it and stagger all three graduations and make Eddie have one heck of a fun day.
No, we're talking
Same time.
Same time,
one
yeah.
graduation on
Yeah.
But
Friday.
he's saying the alternative.
Same
I'm just saying, I was throwing out options.
Please, we've done that. Oh.
The other pause that I would have is people traveling, because it's going to be probably at 7 o'clock, I would guess. So is that enough time to,
Works for university, so I would imagine.
no, I'm talking about people traveling from out of town.
Well, that's what I mean. the 7 o'clock start time works for University High School, so they're sold out, they're packed. I think people generally plan that as a weekend event. And I think it's advantageous with the Friday start time, especially for people that, are traveling, if they know ahead of time that that's part of their plans. Then they're here should we run into any weather. These guys have already talked about, if we know we're going to get rained out on Friday, then we'll back it up to Saturday morning, or we'll back it up to Saturday afternoon, and everybody would still go at the same time.
I don't remember why we switched back from,
Coliseum, probably.
no, that was,
Well,
No.
the CAC got too small for University High, I think is why we ended
Right.
up changing in the beginning.
Omni's for it having different, I
Yeah,
know
we
it
had
was,
UHS at the CAC and MHS at the Coliseum, and then when we grew, I think it was too small for UHS to be at the CAC at the same time.
like I said, I don't remember why we moved them from all being one night, because they used to all be on.
Yeah, they were all at that same time.
Yeah, so I don't, like I said, I don't recall why it went back. I'm sure there was some reason, point in time. All right, well,
Okay, so we'll start building our calendar around that idea, and that's what we'll bring to you then as we get ready for next year's school calendar.
I think, I'd appreciate too, if as this goes on, if there's any glitches or, kind of, as it, before we have to actually, put the hammer down on it, so,
Absolutely.
because we have some time.
You won't have to technically make a final decision until
No.
the calendar's approved
Right.
when we bring it to you for
You got a
approval.
small minority of
Yes.
someone that might want to go to both. I really look forward to going to all three, but I'm minute compared to what our families and administrators think and need and what's best for them, so that's what's important.
So, as long as you three understand, if we don't show up for your particular one, there's a reason.
I think the best way is just not to go to any.
That was recorded, correct?
Yes.
I can't go to all three then.
20% of the board says we're not going to any of them.
I'm still going to all three.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Thanks for coming out.
New contracts.
Right, first, this evening, this is a contract with Bailey Barnes Venue Rental Agreement. You have the copy of that in your executive file. Superintendent recommends that the board approve the rental agreement as presented this evening.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Christina's got the second. Any discussion, questions about it? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Next one is Monongalia Power Company Distribution Line Easement.
Superintendent recommends that the board approve the easement as presented in your executive content.
Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion, questions, follow-ups? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Tolliver Counseling and Consulting Services.
Superintendent recommends that the board approve the Tolliver Counseling and Consulting Services Agreement as presented in your executive content.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, follow-ups?
This is part of behavior blueprint for this
Right.
coming year for our staff.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Let's see, I'm going to move my consent agenda. Lots of short one.
Superintendent recommends that the board approve the consent agenda as presented this evening to include item A, expenditures exceeding $3,000. Item B, the payment of salaries and accounts payable. Item C, the supplements and transfers. Item D are the field experiences. And item E are the minutes of your January 28th, 2025 meeting.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion, follow-up? Everybody good with the minutes and so forth? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carry. Board member updates. Do we have any board member updates?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know if anyone saw this, but 2012 University High graduate, Autumn Lockwood, was the first black woman coach in the NFL to win a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday night. So congratulations to Autumn. It's
Yes.
a real accomplishment.
We should bring her in.
She might be busy.
She's probably busy.
She's got some free time now, it's off season.
Well, that's true. All righty. Policy review. Do we have any?
So we do have a couple of updates that have been released, and I will be putting those, showing the markups in your folders here probably by the end of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Campbell, were you supposed to mention about the kindergarten?
Yes. Yes,
the,
Dr. Campbell.
Oh, the date, yeah.
What did we miss?
Under, yeah, and I was waiting till
Oh.
other board members, if there's any other announcements. But I guess we moved. I did want to give the dates for kindergarten registration. The day that we're going to be, kindergarten students are going to be out on that day. Donna, what day is it?
Yes, April 11th.
April
Yes,
11th.
It's a Friday, so we wouldn't have current kindergarten classes in session. We've done this for many years, and then this is the opportunity to bring in the new kindergarten classes and for our teachers to get to see the new students and, of course, to do all the things that are required. Most of it is done ahead of time, virtually through our office, but our teachers want to be able to see the children and have a little bit of interaction as they begin to prepare for the new year. So this has worked for us very effectively, I don't know, at least 8 or 10 years here. But we want to announce that to the public, obviously.
Good catch, Christina, because it's right there in front of me, and I
I
slid
just
right
saw
over it.
it.
Okay. Policy we've covered, so. I guess, you got anything else? Personnel matters is next.
We'll jump to personnel. I don't have any changes to your personnel list. Superintendent recommends that the board approve the personnel list as presented.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Which one of you wants a second? So, Dan moves. Jennifer?
Second.
Jen takes second, okay. Any comments?
Can I ask, what is the SWAP program?
I can speak to that. It was a program designed originally here under Special Ed Director Patty Benedum, and that position was authorized through that venue, and it would allow students to that were participating in a particular curriculum to go out on job sites, and this position was created at that point to supervise that. So in other words, maybe a dental hygienist was being shadowed, and if that particular dentist office offered that connection, then that student may be in there observing the dental hygienist, and several other businesses, obviously. So now I will say things have evolved over time. There is a program offered through the WVU program that pretty much mirrors what we'd already started doing years and years ago. So there's another avenue to do some of that, and our employee here has done a superb job over many years of making this work, and it's for a particular set of students, and again, it was very effective. Yes.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Nope. Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. No new positions?
We do have none this evening.
Personnel list addendum.
There are no changes to the personnel list addendum. Superintendent recommends that the board approve the addendum as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Everybody's getting gun shy now. Okay, any questions, follow-ups? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Anything else? We're all good? All right, our next meeting is Tuesday, February 25th at 5 PM. We are adjourned.
Thank you.